What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 30 of Kickin It with Breezy and Don C. Sadly, Danny's not going to be with us today. He's got some things he's dealing with at home. But with me is one of probably our most high-profile guests, current Montreal Alouette of the CFL. I see him cracking a smile. Current sack leader, all-time sack leader for the Montreal Alouettes. Wingate alum as well, John Bowman. John, so happy you can come on today, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I saw you crack a smile. Do you not think that you're one of our most high-profile guests?
I don't think so. I like to keep myself level-headed. It keeps me from getting too high. But I appreciate every time somebody thinks I'm high level or celeb. It makes me laugh.
Of course, happy to. So I want to just dive right in for you to tell your story. Really, I got to sit down and listen to you and Sam Hyman on our IG Live for the Wingate Bulldogs account, but go ahead and give us a quick synopsis of what you're doing now and your journey from really just the beginning up till now when it comes to football.
Well, so football for me started in high school. Like, I grew up in New York. Wasn't a lot of football around, but I moved to North Carolina in 97, 96, 90. No, excuse me. I moved to North Carolina in 95. Saw football for the first time. Didn't think it was for me. Then I tried out in 97, my first year at Richmond Senior High School. Didn't really like it, didn't like getting hit. I was playing tight end then. And so I didn't play my junior year. I was playing basketball. Basketball coach said, "Hey, man, you're not good at basketball, so maybe you should try football." So
Gotcha.
I went back out. Exactly. So I went back out, tried football, and got a lot of positive encouragement. Guys saying, "Oh, I think you can get a partial scholarship to go here if you really just try." And I tried as hard as I could. And I wasn't great. Of course, I wasn't. It was just like my first real year playing. And ended up getting partial scholarship offers. And I chose Wingate because it was close to the house. It was 45 minutes from Rockingham, straight down Highway 74. And I live on Highway 74 in Rockingham. And it was close enough for me to get home and get to my aunt's cooking. Had a really
Smart
good time
move.
exactly. Really good time at Wingate. Met some lifelong friends there. Really found myself not only as an athlete but as a human. I developed some purpose, and I never really wanted to play professional football. I just wanted to have some fun, have a good time, hang out with some friends, and just enjoy the college life. But I ended up being pretty good. Took a year off after my senior year of 03. Then I went to Arena League, and I played 2 years of Arena and the Indoor Football League. And then I came up here in 2006, and I've been pretty decent ever since 2006, I guess.
Pretty decent might be putting it nicely. I know you like to keep yourself level-headed, but I know that one thing that a lot of, I think, college athletes they think about, at least from high school to college, you think about, oh, I got to go D1. And if you're a football player, you think, oh, I've got to go to the NFL. But for you having such a productive career in the CFL, what would you say to a younger version of yourself that may have their blinders on focusing on one league when there's so many options?
I mean, just like any other opportunity, just like any other job in life, there's more than one option. If you strictly focus on one thing, if you don't make it, then you deem yourself a failure. Me in college, I didn't expect to play pro ball anyway. So for me, I was just running around, and you guys probably Coach Wright could tell you, like, I didn't have much technique. I was just running around having a good time, laughing. I always smiled. I always was the center of attention because I enjoyed college, because that for me, that was the it. Like, that was what I thought was going to be the end. So I never focused too much on playing pro or playing. Like, in high school, I didn't plan on playing football, so D1 wasn't on my radar either. I just lived in the moment. I enjoyed every second of it. And one telling thing is when after my senior year, I think I had like 70 tackles and 15 sacks. And like, I turned down all-star game invitations because I was like, I'm not going to waste my time, whatever. I'm
Right.
just gonna chill and finish school. And then I think so after '04, this guy approached me and said, "Hey man, we really think you had a stellar career at Wingate. We would appreciate if you come try out for our indoor team." So I went to Daytona, and I started from the bottom, even in indoor leagues. Went from Daytona to Rome to Sioux City, Iowa, and then made it up to Montreal. So my focus was never to play pro ball; it was just to have fun. And I think that's where now in the social media driven era, people lost the fact of fun. Everything's got to be, oh, my kid's 6 years old and look at him, he's benching 600 pounds. He runs a 4.240. Like we didn't care about that back then. I didn't, because playing pro ball wasn't my idea of my future. So I just went out, had a good time, and I ended up doing pretty good. And I've been one of the most productive players in CFL history, all because I just enjoyed what I did. I never took it too seriously. I knew football is temporary, and it can be taken away from you in a heartbeat. So for me, it was enjoying the moment, living in the moment, and appreciating the time that I have right now.
That's awesome. Very, very great words indeed. Very insightful. One thing, you mentioned towards the tail end of that, not sure when things can go out of your reach and things are just taken away from you. And one of those things really for a lot of people nowadays, at least lately, has been normal lifestyles. So how are you adjusting to all of this pandemic, all these pandemic issues and everything else with racial injustice? What are things like in Canada opposed to the US?
Well, as far as I'll start with COVID, our response to coronavirus is a little different than you guys's. And I say you guys, even though I'm American, I deny it sometimes. Like we completely shut everything down for a little bit, and then it was slowly, just essential services was open for like 2 whole months. We couldn't go to the gym. You could only place you could go was to the grocery store. The movie theaters, everything was closed. Parks was closed. Outdoor workout facilities closed. Gyms closed. Everything was closed. Only thing open was the grocery store and the pharmacy. And then I want to say over the past probably 3 weeks, we've slowly started to open things up in Canada. Like even now, you can't go out in groups larger than 6 people, or you still have to remain 2 meters behind somebody. And I think we're going to put in a law, by law, that you got to wear face masks, which is fine. Anything in the that's gearing towards health and wealth of people should be the approach of just normal sanity. Just be responsible. You're sick, stay home. So our as a country, Canada has taken a different, and I can say better, because
You're
with the
right.
cases running rampant in the U.S., everybody took a better approach than the U.S. did. And so it's been kind of weird, like training and preparing for what may be, because right now we don't know if we're going to have a season or not, because of the gathering rules and the economy the way it is and stuff like that. The CFL isn't like the NFL where we get $1 billion every time there's a commercial run. It's more of a gate-given league, and we need the fans to be at the games, buying the hot dogs, buying the jerseys and stuff like that in order for the CFL to operate. So right now we're kind of in the fringe area on that, and we just started negotiations with the league. I'm the vice president of our union, and we just started negotiations with our president, with the owners and the commissioner and stuff like that now. So we're at the beginning stages of that, and our gyms are slowly open up. I think our pools, municipal pools, just started opening up. So it's slowly but surely getting back to a little bit of reality. And as far as the social injustice movement, for sure, there's been a lot of protests here, but I can say 95% peaceful. Every once in a while you get a crazy who does something that that's out of the way, or not as far as protesting, but also the police and stuff like that. But people don't know about Canada. It's a very multicultural place. As far as Montreal and Toronto, probably the most diverse cities I've ever been in my life. So it's a lot of people protesting different things. And you know what, as a black guy here, as a black American here, you know, it feels different because you don't like. Of course, there's systemic racism. There's systemic racism everywhere, and people can deny it all they want. But here, I don't feel like I'm gonna die. You know, I live by a police station, and you know, and I've got racially profiled before, and it's unfortunate because when they find out who I am, they apologize immediately and all of this stuff. And I tell them it's not cool just because I am who I am, you know, whatever. But I don't feel like I'm gonna die, if that makes sense. Like I feel uneasy at times, and I don't put myself in a situation to where I know I'm gonna press the issue or something like that. I keep myself relatively in comfortable, safe positions at all times. But even if I end up in a bad situation, as far as with the police or in a neighborhood I'm not familiar with, whatever, I don't feel like I'm gonna die, which is the difference between Canada and the U.S., I guess.
Very, very insightful indeed. One thing too that I've noticed on your social media, you're very involved with the community. Can you talk about some of the things you're involved with, whether it's your own foundations or things that you spend your time volunteering for?
Oh, for sure. And you know, I said this during my my induction speak into the South Atlantic Conference Hall of Fame. The reason why, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons why I entrenched myself into the community was so the team couldn't cut me. And you know, if the team cuts me, the city's gonna be pissed. But no, I mean, I grew up in like in New York. I grew up in a neighborhood that wasn't, you know, very clean, very we didn't have a lot of money, very poor, below the poverty line, I'll say. So I told myself if I ever get the opportunity to give back to the area I'm going to live in, to the area I'm going to stay in, I'm going to do it. And you know, for the better part of 14 years, I've been living, operating, and giving back to the city of Montreal because they've taken me in when, you know, no NFL team would, when no other CFL team would. So I appreciate them, and the least I can do is lend a voice. You know, I might can't do the most financially, but I can lend a voice and a face of recognition that people can say, "Oh, John Bowman's doing it. Well, maybe we should take a look at it, and maybe we can get one or two more people involved." But I just did a couple of things for the Diabetes Foundation for Montreal and for all of Canada. I've also reached back on, it's a project, it's French, so it's hard for me to pronounce. I don't want to mess it up. But we donated, you know, one day, it's a barbecue. We donated 150 meals to one of the poorest parts of Montreal. And just giving back and getting out into those guys, you know, knowing they'll never see, like they rarely see like our soccer team out or a hockey team out or a football team out in a neighborhood like that. So just going out, hanging out with them, people knowing who you are, and me, you know, as a humble guy, I don't think anybody recognizes me, but going there and they read your stats and you're like, oh, thanks, man, I appreciate it. And you know, during the course of my 14 years with the team, I've also visited, you know, 400 and something schools where we've had talks about any aspect, whether it's working out, playing football, hygiene, healthy eating, you know, setting a regimen for yourself, goal setting. So I've always been somebody who wants to give back to the community because I know where I came from, and I know sometimes a voice, if anything, can do more for a person, sometimes more than financially, because you can spend money easily, but you know, but if you hear a good, positive, strong message, that kind of sticks with you for the rest of your life.
Now that we mentioned off the field some of the things you've done, who are some of the most influential people you've come across on the field during your career?
Oh man, I've been blessed. On the field, I played like the guy who I learned from, Anthony Anwar Stewart. He played at Kentucky. You know, I mean, I think he's actually now he just went back, started coaching at Kentucky, University of Kentucky. But when I first got here, he kind of took me under his wing after a year or two. You know, of realizing, you know, I'm gonna be here. You know, because it's weird. It's a weird mechanism up in Canada. You know, with the ratio and stuff like that. But he took me under his wing, showed me around the city, showed me where to go when I need something or who to talk to, the right things to do, what to stay away from. So I owe Anwar a lot. I was the best man at his wedding. You know, Anthony Calvillo, the all-time leading passer in CFL history. He's one of those guys. He didn't care your stats or rookie, veteran. He took everybody under his wing. Ben Cahoon. Like, I played with a bunch of guys in Canada that showed me the way, because they're all from diverse backgrounds. Like, Anthony's a Mexican from California. Anwar is a black guy from Pensacola, Florida, and Ben Cahoon's a Mormon from Utah. So, just the vast array of people you meet in Canada. Well, I mean, that alone helps you mentally with the diversity. It helps you mentally achieve more than what you think you can do.
That's awesome. Literally, you've got 3 different people from total different parts of the world.
Total different.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
Last question about football, and then we got some more stuff to get into with your shoe collection, just to preview. I watched a video on the Montreal Alouettes website, a piece put together for your 200 game back in 2017. There was a video that you watched from one of your teammates, and I don't want to butcher his name either. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes, Bernard Jourdain. Yeah. Could you give us a little bit of an insight as to why that was so touching to see?
I mean, me and Luke basically came in together. He came in a year after me, and the guy exemplifies what it takes to be. I don't know what it takes to be in the NFL. I've never been, but what it takes to be a professional football player, he exemplifies it. He bends his back over twice for the team. He took a pay cut when the team needed to take a pay cut. He adjusted his salary. The guy tore his ACL. I remember this guy, like, literally tore his ACL on, like, in the first quarter of a game. Got his knee taped up, finished the game with a torn, like, 3 blown ligaments in the game. Got up, say, hey, I'm going to finish this game, and I'm going to do, because here in the CFL, you got a limited roster to work with. We got like 42 people playing, and you only allow 6 O-linemen or something like that. So he taped up his knee, told the trainer, hey, man, I'm good. I'm going to finish this game out. Totally finished the game out, torn ACL, torn PCL. I mean, to this day, his knee isn't still right. Worked his butt off, came back the next year, finished, retired last year after the 3rd game. And he's just a community guy, team guy. He's a family guy. One of his I think his son has some kind of disorder. I don't want to mess it up by saying the wrong thing, but he adjusted his home, because it's from his wife that he married. Adjusted his home, made it wheelchair accessible. You know what I mean? Redid his whole house. Just doing what it takes to show people in the environment that, hey, you can always adjust and adapt. And for, like, me and him, we have a special bond. Like, that's my guy forever. A French white Canadian from Saint Eustache, Quebec, and a guy from Brooklyn, raised in North Carolina. And he'll be a lifelong friend for sure. And just to see the things he had to say for me in that video, I almost cried. I don't know if I did. I can't remember the video verbatim, but I know I got a little teary-eyed and maybe stuttered a little bit. But he's a solid guy.
I don't want to give you up, but I did see you shed a couple tears. But I mean, I think anybody would have. That's amazing, though. That's amazing. It sounds like you've got a lot of great people around you, and it's been like that your whole career. That's awesome.
Definitely been blessed.
All right, so now let's get into some fun questions, because if you don't know, one of our main topics is shoes. We're big shoe fans. If Danny were here, he'd tell you the same thing. And I've seen a lot of good pictures on your Instagram. I'm not the craziest when it comes to the quality and maybe price of my shoes. I've got some behind me, but I saw some Sean 97s, some Travis 1s, Obsidian 1s, the Flint 13s. Yeah. When did you start collecting shoes?
Oh, man. You know what? My accountant probably be pissed if he heard this. No, I think I started collecting. Well, before I couldn't collect because I was poor. I think I want to say my first shoe, but that I went out and had to have was like 08, 07 or 08, whenever the Space Jams that first came back out. And that kind of set it off. I remember searching eBay and I forgot the website. I don't think it's on anymore. But I found a pair in Houston, Texas for like $500. And I totally, like, I was oblivious about the internet back in 2008. And I sent the guy $500. and somebody's like, "Oh, you stupid! You don't send the money. This guy might not send you the shoes." But I looked out and I found a decent reseller, and he sent me the shoes, and that set it off. That set it off right there.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
still have those shoes. I probably worn them since I bought them like 07, 08. I probably worn them like 3 or 4 times. Everybody offers me $500, $600, $700, $1,000 for them. I'm like, listen, if I sell any shoes, this will be the last shoe I sell.
Smart, very smart move. Yeah. What size do you wear?
13.
I'm right in front of you. Actually, I wear a 14.
Do you? So like, I'm happy 13 is the last shoe that's commonly kept in stores.
That's
so
what 14,
I hate. You got to shop everywhere.
I know, John. It's literally that mark, and then I'm past that line.
Exactly.
So if you had to pick 3 pairs of shoes to wear the rest of the year, keep in mind that you're going to still have your collection, but 3 that you're going to wear in a constant rotation. Give me those 3. Very tough question.
That is extremely tough because 3 is like multiple occasions. So 3 types of shoes or 3 shoes?
Up to you. Your call.
So I'll go with types because I can't pick 3 shoes. And I'll tell you why. Jordan 1s, because they're versatile. Mm-hmm. You know, you can wear them with jeans. You can wear them with a little bit of design shorts. You can wear them with some slack shorts. So Jordan 1s, for versatility of the shoe, I'll say Jordan 1s. It just drops off. It's like it's so tough at that.
It's Jordan 1 and then everything's below.
No, it's so tough. Jordan, I'll go with retro 3s.
Good pick.
Comfort, versatility, the vast array of colors and whatever. As far as versatility, Jordan 3s are right behind the 1s. And, you know, I'm not an Adidas guy, and, you know, but like I like the comfortability of a good Yeezy. So the 350s are V1s or V2s are comfortable. So I can't say I'm not talking about the guy. You know, the guy is weird, but the comfortability and not the hype beast of the shoe. As far as comfortability of a shoe, and I got about, I want to say like 14, 15 pair of Yeezys. The comfort of the shoe is impeccable. That cushion that they put in the bottom is pretty good.
Okay, so those are pretty good picks. Yeezys, 3s, and 1s.
Yes.
Solid.
Yeah.
What's your ballpark estimate for your shoe collection right now?
Price wise or number?
Just total. How many you have?
Less than 300.
Man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. It began slow and now it's bad.
Do you have a separate closet? Do you have a separate room to kind of put all your shoes
up?
Yeah,
so I got a walk-in closet, and like the bottom row of my walk-in closet goes about five shoes high and probably like 10 across. And then I got like my whole wall in my bedroom stacked to the ceiling. Like I got built-ins built just for shoes. And if I was in my house right now, I'd show you, but like I'll send you a picture and
for sure.
I'll let you post it.
Awesome. Okay, so now we mentioned the shoes, but one thing that at least is popular nowadays, it seems like, what guys wear before games. So what's your pregame fit?
Before we go into this tangent, my buddy told me I was being a hype beast or whatever, posting I've got pictures from like 08 with a BlackBerry in my hand of me taking pictures in Jabot jeans, big baggy clothes, and I sent him these pics to show him. I've been doing this way before Instagram. I don't know when Instagram came out, but I've been doing this way before Instagram was a thing. Like MySpace was still in whenever I started taking pregame pics. But no, like for football players, you know, we don't get to show our face like basketball players
True.
And hockey players. So like for me, my theory is what you wear before the game is going to set you apart from everybody else. Like basketball players, you can see their face, you can make them individualistic. Mm-hmm. Once football players step on the field, you know who they are by their name, but you can't see their face. You can't distinguish them from the next guy, really. So me coming to the game, you know, I want to say for the past, I'll say really, really hard for the past 5 years. It's been like, okay, what can I wear? I've gotten some sponsors say, hey, John, wear this. Hey, we'll get this to you. Just wear this before the game. So I've been blessed to have that. And a lot of people think I got higher style. I do everything myself. So whatever I want to wear, I wear. But some people give me an outfit. I'm like, yeah, I'll wear that, or no, give me this with that. So a lot of the stuff I do myself, and like it's just fun. Like it's like I only get to dress up one day a week. I'm
True.
at practice every day, so I'm in flip flops every day for the whole summer. So on game days, I try to look as nice as I can.
I know you've done a great job keeping yourself level-headed, by the way, but are you going to say that you're the best dressed on the team?
No, I'll say I'm the best dressed in this league.
I
That's
love
one
it.
thing I don't play around, and people can say whatever they want. Oh, like some people say I dress nice, but I match too much. That's fine. That's my style. Everybody, like, I'm not gonna wear purple and orange because I don't think it looks good together. Some people take it to that level. I'm not at that level. I wear some colors. I wear the patterns I like, and I wear what I accessorize with. So for me, like coming up, if you match, so if you have some accents in your uniform or your outfit that look good, that was what you went for. Like I'm not the guy who's gonna wear purple and green and be like, oh yeah, just because I don't match, that means I know how to dress.
That
I'm not that fashion forward.
I agree with you. I think that the more matching, the better. People tend to just overthink that.
Yeah, I mean, the unmatching, like people take it, the unmatching is the best way to go. If that's people's style, fine. That's not my style. Like I'm good. If I got to wear black and red, I'm wear black and red. I'm gonna have some black and red accents, whatever. I'm not gonna wear orange with pink and turquoise because it's not me unless I have a tie dye shirt on.
True. That's fair. Now that we mentioned shoes and pregame fits, do you take that seriously with your cleats as well? Do you like to design your cleats? What's the rules like for that?
Oh, so yeah, for sure. We can do. I think last year I did some Mario Brothers cleats. They're actually pretty sweet. A sky blue background, and Mario, Luigi, some mushrooms, and the thing with the tongue on there.
Uh-huh.
So I did that. I did some Thundercat cleats. So like you can pretty much do what you want as long as it's within the parameters of our CVA with our sponsorships and stuff like that. Like it's not like the NFL where everybody has a shoe deal and
Hmm.
they can wear every cleat they want to. Up here we got a guideline we got to follow, so we try to tell people to stay within those guidelines.
What's one sneaker that we would say is your grail, one that you haven't had your hands on yet, but the one that you have high on your list?
And it's gonna sound so ridiculous that I don't have these because they've came out 30 times and I've never found the pair. It's the neon green Air Max 95, neon green and
Oh
gray Air
yeah.
Max 95. Like I know, like somebody who doesn't collect sneakers, that don't care about sneakers, now have a pair. They're like, oh, how come you don't have these? These are just I cannot. Every time they came out, I don't know what happened. Neon green and gray Air Max 95s. I've never had a pair.
I like
That's
those.
it.
Do you like the Jordan 4 remake with the neon green?
I didn't. I
You
like.
didn't.
I passed on those. They look good from afar, but once I got up on them, I was like, they're not for me. Like, I don't get every. Like I'm not one of those guys that be like, oh, Jordan's coming out, I gotta get it.
Hmm.
I kind of like to wear my shoes, even though I have some shoes I've never worn. So, but so like I gotta see them on my feet and what I got to wear with them and stuff like that in order for me to get them. I don't just get shoes just to get them. I know some people who do, and that's fine, but like I don't get shoes just to get them and collect them. I like to wear mine.
I like that. Very, very good philosophy. One question I have written down that I wanted to mention to you that I actually chimed in on the IG live with you and Sam and asked you this, but I want you to reiterate it because I thought it was so cool. Hardest quarterback you've ever had to sack?
And who did I say?
I believe you said Marcus Allen's brother.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Damon Allen.
Damon.
Damon Allen, like to this day, probably runs like a 4.6. He was 42 years old in '06 when I first got here. And he's like the all time, he got probably like 150,000 all purpose passing and rushing yards. Guy ran like a 4.5 40 at 42. And I see him now to this day. He be like, yeah, I see you old school, but I used to beat you up back in the day. Like ridiculous athleticism, speed, toughness, whatever you want to say. And the guy had an arm. I think he had like 75,000 passing yards and probably 60,000 rush yards. It's ridiculous stats, like stuff you wouldn't even think was real. This guy did it all, and like I see him every once in a while. We go to like our championship game, so he's a part of the alumni conventions and stuff like that. Still looks phenomenal. Still looks like he runs a 4.5. By far the toughest quarterback I've had. And people don't understand. Like they think CFL, it's a talent level drop off. It's not. The quarterbacks up here are more athletic than the quarterbacks that are in the NFL, because the NFL, one, they get pocket protection.
True.
Here they want to be more athletic to take advantage of the field and the playing schemes and stuff like that. So total different league, way more athletic quarterbacks here. Like if I had to chase Tom Brady around, I'd be fine with that. But you imagine chasing like 7 or 8 Michael Vicks, not with the same speed of Michael Vick, but on that caliber.
Right. I can't even imagine. I mean, to run that fast at 42 should be illegal.
He was fast.
Oh my gosh. Can't even imagine. One other point that just came to mind when we were doing an episode recently with one of our Wingate basketball guys, Jaron Cottingham. He talked about how in sports he loves the element of trash talk. Do you have any trash talk stories that you'd love to share with us?
Well, me, like, I'm bad. Like even at Wingate, I was like, the refs used to go to the coach before the game and say, "Hey Joe, if 88 talks, we're kicking him out of the game." And I remember one game actually. Oh, this is bad. Like
we got to hear it.
Well, it was a game against Tusculum. I want to say my senior year, and I'm going against this guy. He's All-American, whatever. He's going to the NFL. And like I was pretty good too my senior year, but I didn't care. And what was it, Tusculum? I don't know. He punched me in the face. So I said, okay. So next play, I punched him in the face, ripped his helmet off, like we're going at it. And the refs threw a flag on me, and I, F you, MFers, this and that. But this is when the South Atlantic Conference is all, it's a Christian conference. It was a church conference, whatever. So I took my pads off. This is during the game, second quarter. Took my pads off, helmet off, threw it on the middle of the field, and I walked out the field. And I found out after that they tried to throw me out of the university. Like alumni were mad. I don't represent the embodiment of sports or whatever. I'm like, listen, this is passion to me. Like I care about this. Nobody's just gonna take it. Before I'm a football player, before I'm an athlete, I'm a man.
Right.
And if somebody crosses the line between disrespect and football, like I'm willing to cross the line. I don't initiate nothing, but I've been known to talk a little trash. And up here is no better. Like on the football field, I don't cross the line, but I teeter. And I'm never disrespectful of anybody's family, religion, race, nothing. I just talk about their game, and that's where we go from there. But I'm pretty bad.
What did Joe Reich tell you? Because we love Joe Reich over at Wingate. I mean, he's the, as you know, class act. What did he tell you after that game? Do you remember?
After, what did he tell me during the game? Listen, like once they seen the film, they calmed down because they seen what happened. They seen what transpired, and they see how I got to where I was. But right when it happened, John, don't be a disgrace. MF for this. Go get your GD pad. Like it wasn't the Joe Wright that you guys know and love, And back then, that's when he first came. So we're like, I think that was like his 3rd year at Wingate. So he's still trying to establish the foundation. And when he got there, we were 1-11. I think the 4-7, 5-6, 5-6. So he was trying to establish a culture that we can build on. So I appreciate it. Like to this day, Joe Reich is probably one of the only reasons why I'm still into football because, like I probably wanted to quit, wanted to leave Wingate a few times, and he encouraged me to stay. But he was trying to establish something, and like in that moment, in that instance, I went against what he was trying to establish, and he let me hear about
Fair enough, right?
it.
John, that's awesome. The conversation we've gotten to have is amazing, and I can't thank you enough for your time. I know you're a busy man. But one final question to wrap things up. If the CFL does have a season, are you all in?
Yeah, are you talking about retiring?
No, are you going? Oh, so you're going to retire? You think?
If we don't or do?
If you do have a season, will you be playing?
Maybe. We'll
Okay,
see how good of a deal we can get. So, like,
fair enough.
we still trying to negotiate our CBA, but if we get a good deal that encourages me to play, I'll play. If not, I won't.
Awesome, good deal. Well, that's John Bowman, our guest for today, episode 30. I'm Donnie Sherrill.